listening to Big Blend Radio Champion Sunday Show with Nancy and Lisa, and we're airing live from Ilwaco, Washington. I will get this name straight. We're right across from the fire station, and we're taking care of a beautiful and sweet Ember Ray. She's a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, and she's full of spunk and joy, so you may hear her say a hello on the show at any time.
Well, she's sleeping now.
She's sleeping now. She got a little freaked out about headsets. Apparently, she's never seen people walk around with headsets.
We should have shown her a headset beforehand.
Yeah, we should do that. From now on, we'll walk around the house with headsets. But
That's
you know that we travel across the country documenting parks and public lands, and part of our travels is pet sitting. And we started this in July of 2020 after we had a radio chat with Angela Laws. And Angela is the community manager for TrustedHousesitters.com. And I encourage you to go to their website. This is an incredible platform that connects homeowners, pet parents with pet sitters. And so everybody involved loves pets. Everybody involved loves travel. So it's a really cool community, very affordable. And we're so glad that we connected with Angela and got started with this. It has been a true joy. And Angela herself is a very seasoned pet sitter, and she's pet sat around the world. We think we're doing pretty good since July of 2020. I think I've added it up today. I think it's 16 states and over 100 pets, not including all the stray kitty cats and all the chickens and guinea fowl, and there's a lot more involved. But anyway, she really has been around doing this. So welcome, Angela. How are you?
Hello, Lisa, and hello, Nancy. I'm really, really, really well. And gosh, have you racked up that many? And you've 100 pets. That's absolutely amazing.
We have a huge family. This is the biggest family we've ever had, pets and human friends. I mean, this is super cool. And we were on your conference call the other day. You guys were having a Team Trusted, convention online and in person in England, and seeing other pet sitters and homeowners, pet parents. It just seems like everything's just growing, and it's just really nice because the center of it all, other than travel, which we all love, is the care of pets. So that's just a really beautiful, special thing. It really is.
Yeah, absolutely true. And we are welcoming so many new members into our community. And with each new member on the pet parent side, we get from 1 to goodness knows how many new pets joining our pet membership, and they are our VIPs, and that P at the end is pets. But it is it's the most authentic way to travel for those who want to use it on the sitter side. But the other thing too is that so many pet parents imagine that they cannot have pets and travel as well. They actually believe that they don't have a choice because obviously their pets come first. They're their priority. They are the family members who need that care and attention. But you can. I mean, you can have pets and travel just as you can. And I mean, you two, you're up in Seattle at the moment. And is that Waco or Waco?
It's Waco.
Oh,
Waco. Taco.
Okay, I didn't get it right either of those. Okay.
So Waco.
So
we were in Seattle, but now we're in Ilwaco, which is about 3 hours. Well, it depends on Seattle traffic and construction. About 3 hours southwest of it. So we're right by Astoria, Oregon. We're by we love our national parks, Lewis and Clark National Park. We're on the Lewis and Clark Trail. We're by Cape Disappointment State Park. And I mean, you just walk out the door and you're walking, sweet Ember Ray along the marina and, up on a trail through the forest. I mean, this is like, dude,
awesome.
I'm not to call you dude, Auntie Angela, but dude, this is cool.
You can call me what you like, Lisa, as long as it's
don't ever say
on
that.
the radio.
Kidding. I'm kidding. No, but no, it's so. I mean, how many years have you been doing this? Because I know we've talked about you pet sitting, obviously Scotland, England, where you live, but also in Spain and in Vancouver, right? So we're kind of close-ish to what you've done. So Yeah. How long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it actually 14 years, but since Trusted House Sitters started 11 years ago, I've been doing it permanently since we started 11 years ago, and it has taken me around the world. But you know, more than the travel, it's the people and the pets first. And that travel around the world, while that sounds, you know, romantic, exotic, and everything else, and yes, it is. Do you know you can have the same experiences 50 miles from home, 5 miles from home, because I mean, pet love is the same whether it's next door or it's over the ocean. I mean, and that's the reason we do what we do. And the travel and the locations are, you know, that's the icing on the cake. And like for you, for the lifestyle you need and what you do as far as, you know, promoting the parks, this is just the best way, because you can be flexible. You can stay in your own home, away from home. You're not hosting everything. And it is for pet parents and pet sitters. It is a marriage made in heaven. I mean, it really, and it works so incredibly well.
Well, the one thing that we miss the most, being traveling full time, is our pets and plants.
Yeah.
So when we stay in somebody's home, there's always houseplants or some kind of garden to tend to, which I love. And then we have our babies, our pets, and it takes maybe 10 minutes, if that, to bond with an animal, and then they just look at you, sit on your lap, and decide that you belong to them.
And that's very true. I mean, there is a saying that it can take weeks, months, years to discover that you love some person, but it can take 2 minutes to know that you love a dog. And actually, for some people, they would say, 2 minutes? It takes me like 2 seconds. And they know. I mean, the moment that you're there, they know that that's what you're there for. But the other beautiful thing for all the pet parents who are listening today is nothing in your pet's life changes. Nothing changes except the human caregiver. And we are there purposely, and we are there as a priority. And so they probably get more attention than they do from their pet parents, because we don't have other stuff going on, and we're not running after children. We're not going out to work. We're not doing that. We're actually in the homes, and that's what we're there for. And so it's that one-to-one. We are there. They say cats have servants and dogs have you know, friends, but actually we're looking after them as they are our priority. We give that one-to-one care 24 days, 7 days a week, and you know, there's a lot of humans who could actually have that care as well.
It's really true. And just know you're breaking up a little bit, so I don't know, maybe it's an internet thing, but she, you know, I'm just looking at she, like Ember Ray here. You know, it's as soon as we walk in, she knows it's us. And what's so weird is, you know, it's you become this pet sitter going from place to place and taking care of different animals. As soon as you look at them, they already know you're here to care. They already know that your suitcase is really full of dog fur and cat fur. They already know. And then when you go to, you know, if you put your hand in your pocket, either a treat is coming out or a poop bag. This is the sign of a pet sitter. They don't. That's the truth. But it is about care. And I also want to say this: as travelers, you know, there's a balance that these pets bring back into your life. And sometimes when you're traveling, it's like, oh, we want to do every little attraction or activity on the list. And people often get home from a vacation and need a vacation from their vacation. And when you are in someone's home and you're with these pets, you slow down and you go according to their routine and schedule. And you kind of slow down. And the homeowners, pet parents, really, from our experience, are super proud of where they live. They tell you where to go, where you're getting the local tips. And so, and for tourism, what Trusted House Sitters has done for tourism, you know, maybe we're not staying in an Airbnb or a bed and breakfast at that point, but you may. A lot of times we're staying in a hotel before or after. So there is that kind of tourism happening. But people are going to restaurants. We are shopping in grocery stores. We are going to attractions, maybe just not at that crazy thing that we're doing, But you develop this relationship with a pet parent through sending a text message. Oh, Ember Ray's doing this now. Oh, her Betty the Yeti toy is now in half. It's been torn up because she's playing today. Or if there's actually a medical thing, to have that communication. So you develop a friendship over. Most of the pet parents are sending us photos of their vacation while they're doing it, and keep up with us after the sit. Hey, this is how so-and-so is doing. Oh, the hummingbirds are back. Or,
I love it.
So you have this other experience. And I wanted to bring up, because this is super important, local food. It's just different pet sitting wise to have local food from, like when we were in Thomasville, Georgia, Nature's Own Bakery is there. And of course, they're like, we made sure you had this bread because this goes all across the country, but it's here. Our town is famous for it. When we were in Raleigh, North Carolina, Diane and her husband Julian made sure we had Krispy Kreme donuts because that's where they're from. There's just this other element. Then when we're in Washington State, Colleen and Dennis made sure we tasted their Washington State wine. Mm-hmm. And we're bringing something to them, too. So there's this other exchange that it goes, it's huge. It's a whole other way of travel, and everyone is benefiting: the animals, the people traveling, the people pet sitting, the communities that we're all going to through this. So I think on the tourism part, it's huge. It really is.
You're absolutely right. And I think the other thing, too, is people are actually looking to travel in a more ecologically friendly way. They're looking at environments. They're looking at how they can save. I mean, we've got costs spiraling through travel and gas and all of those things. And I mean, if we're actually sharing and trading and we're sharing homes and we've got those situations, we can actually travel in a far more environmentally friendly way than if we were going, sort of into hotels and big resorts and things like that have to be sort of managed. The other thing about it too is that it's cost effective for those travelers. Mm-hmm. I mean, when you stop and think that you can actually, just go to the grocery store and stock up and then eat at home for the whole week. You can go to a restaurant if you want to, but I mean, for the cost of one meal, restaurant, you can go to the grocery store and buy yourself groceries for the week. And you have that choice. You have that choice, and you've got everything around you that you actually need. You don't have to start buying anything. And so it is a far more practical way of travel. But the other thing, too, that's happening right now is we have this army of remote workers, people that are working from home. So many companies have gone remote first. And so you can change, you can change your place of work, you can change your outlook, you can do anything, and you can go to the next town, or you can go to a next state, and you can still work and be in an environment where you've got pet companionship. But the other thing too is they bring that work-life balance to you. Whereas if you're at home and all you've got, and you're on your devices all the time and you're working, for anybody that's a workaholic, and I'll put my hand up to that one, you can actually, instead of sitting down to your device as soon as you get up in the morning, if you've got to take, you've got to take Charlie for a walk, it's good for your brain, it's good for your mind, it's good for your soul, and it's good for your body. You're not actually sitting. And so it brings that work-life balance, and it brings that stress level down. And it can be inspirational if you're somebody that, if you're creative and you're looking to do things and you're surrounded by these animals who actually, they're good for your soul in so many ways.
I actually want to do a radio show on that. Yeah, go ahead, Nancy. Sorry.
I was just going to say, because they're so happy to see you in the morning. And they're cuddly, and they're smiling all the time. They're not like this big dejected thing and going through trauma all the time. They're just all, hey, come on, let's eat together.
Let's party. It's a world party.
Let's party. They're fun. I mean, like in the Ember right now, she's a little rambunctious at the beginning of the show because I put a headset on and she didn't get what that is. But now she's snoring.
Oh, and she does some good snores, but
I
it
know,
is the
but
humor.
she's on my foot and she's snoring.
Yeah. See, but that's the thing. This work-life balance is huge, and I think a lot
Mm.
of people started getting pets over COVID, and so the pets are also used being there 24/7, and so that's something we've noticed with pet sitting. A lot of times, it's like these animals are used to someone being there, and not
Mm-hmm.
used to being left alone. There's a lot of animals too that are elder that shouldn't be left alone, that are on medication,
Exactly.
that do need special care. And I'm going to tell you that it feels good to give that special care. And it takes,
Mm-hmm.
the spotlight off yourself for a bit. It's just kind of that balance like we're talking about. It feels good to care for animals. They
Oh
really,
yeah, and
I think it's good for us. I want to do a show on the benefits. I'm going to talk to our heart expert, Dr. Jackie, about what does it do for our blood pressure, our stress levels, and because dogs make you laugh, they do make you get up. You're at the computer for an hour. There's no way a dog or a cat. Many cats will come. How many of us know about cats? There's a thing of how to prepare for a Zoom meeting, and they show a cartoon of having to tape your cat to the wall before the cat gets on your computer.
Mm-hmm.
Because cats do it too. But I think there's just this real you're caring, and for the pet parents to go away, and when we see them happy, whether they're skiing on the slopes or hiking or whatever kind of vacation, Europe has opened, international travel's back. You get the reports. They send you photos too. This is where we are. You see them happy. And when you see them come home and know, when we keep hearing over and over, thank you, you've given us peace of mind to travel where we really just didn't have to worry. And it's not always just the pets. We've heard people say, if we don't have our animals, we still want you to come back because we don't want to leave our house open, without someone
Mm-hmm.
in it. So we're seeing so many benefits, but to see people come home and see them smiling ear to ear, a lot of people haven't gone out yet. This is their beginning. So it's truly feels so good to give to the animal and give to those traveling. It's really beautiful.
absolutely. And I've got a couple of anecdotal sort of comments to make on that as far as the stress. I've got a sit coming up, and the husband, the pet parent, he was due to go into hospital for surgery, and he went for his pre-surgical checkup, and his blood pressure was absolutely through the roof. And I think it was probably a combination of many things, and the concern about the surgery, and the surgeon was actually quite concerned about it and said, we need to get that down. And so one of the things that his wife knew about their dog that they have, she took him home and she sat him down and she said, right, you sit there. And she put their dog on his knee. And within half an hour, she took his blood pressure and it had come all the way down. It wasn't up there anymore. And that is proof positive, that's how that can work. The other thing to remember too is that, like, you and Nancy travel and you have each other, and many other couples travel together, but there's a lot of solo travelers. And you know what? You can actually feel really, really lonely if you're in a new place, et cetera, et cetera. And so many of our solo travelers, they really, really, this is the way that they travel. This is their sanity. This is their way of being able to do what they do and not be alone and not feel alone. They may be traveling on their own, but they're never alone.
There's an element of safety to it too. You're in a home sometimes with an alarm, or if you've got a dog, no one's coming in here with Amber Ray. There's just no need. I mean, Shanae, nothing's happening. She knows everything that's going on in this neighborhood. But I think what you're really right too, because from what we've seen with the pet parents, it's almost like they're running an Airbnb. That some of the homeowners are just so they're welcoming. They want you to try things. They're interested. They want you to feel good because they want the pet sitter to feel good and feel welcome because they want it to be successful for their home and pets. And I'm sorry, but they're really nice people. I mean, we've met the best people. Seriously.
Yeah.
Just made and from all walks of life and different political affiliations, difference in opinions on different things. But I
doesn't
just
matter.
feel like while we're watching the world go crazy, I'm going, but we're having all these amazing interactions. So humanity is real. We are still like that. We're still good people. And this is proof.
Well, we're animal people, Lisa. That's why. But animals at the very heart of Trusted House Sitters. It's who we are. It's why we do what we do. It's the glue that keeps us all together, and it's the reason that we come. And just one thing that you sort of picked up on, that you sort of said a little while ago was, and even if you don't have pets, having somebody come in and look after your home. I have a house in Scotland. I have a home in Scotland, and we were just getting to the point where because we don't have pets of our own, and I was really eager to go and get a pet fix. And so we went to do a lovely sit with a beautiful dog in Edinburgh, and we went for a week. And as we were getting ready, I thought, okay, should I get a sitter in? Because I do have sitters for my home as well. I had them in Vancouver, Canada, and they used to come from New Zealand and Australia. And we were going there for a week, and I said, do I need to get a sitter in? No. I'm only going for a week. So we go to Edinburgh. We did this sit with and had a lovely time. Edinburgh is a beautiful city, and it was our way of being able to see it like a local rather than a tourist. And so we went there. We came home. As we walked into our back door, it was like, oh, what is that aroma, that smell? Uh-oh. And went to put the light on, no light. Now, we live in a brand new house, so you wouldn't think that anything's going to go, but so anyway, my husband sourced it, et cetera, and a breaker had tripped. We still don't know why, but the breaker had tripped, and on that circuit was our fridge and fridge freezer. Yeah. We lost all of the food in our freezer, and on top of that, the mess that it made, and how much and we were only gone for a week. And so you just never know. Now, if we'd have had a sitter in, they would have known immediately the trip went. We would have left them instructions on what to do and where they were and everything else. But none of that would have happened. And they would have had a great week sitting by locked long in a lovely home.
And that can happen to anybody at any time. I mean, the breaker strips when, sometimes road work causes that to happen. So that can happen anywhere at any time. We sat in one home. They did have dogs, but the lady had 1,000 houseplants. And when she said 1,000, I'm like,
how many?
Cool, 1,000. I'm like, and when we got there, I was like, okay, I'm going to count to see if she really has 1,000. Then I gave up because I'm like, oh yeah, she got more than 1,000. She had greenhouses and all these plants, and I was in my element. I thought it was more fun just to walk into these different places with all these plants. So relaxing. I mean, the dogs are cool too. So there's so many aspects to it. And then when you think, how does a person like that leave? You can't leave 1,000 plants.
She was so happy when she came home because all the plants were alive, and a lot of them are specialized, and they had all these different things. And this is something I really want to say. You learn so much by being a pet sitter. We've learned, you were talking about the environmental footprint. I was just saying the other day, I want to write a book on garbage systems across the country. Some places burn their trash. Some places have zero, like where we are now. They don't have any need for trash. They compost everything. Everything is recycled. I mean, this is an amazing thing. And so there's all these different things, but you learn things about wildlife in backyards. I mean, I figured out how woodchuck was getting after the eggs and the chicken food. I figured, and I was able to successfully save the woodchuck from the dogs. I've learned how to fix washing machines. I've learned, believe it or not, my latest is how to charge blinds, remote blinds. I didn't know there was such a thing, but you do. So there's all these. Yeah. And then they went out, and I'm like, what?
Some people have their TV and their blinds on their phone, and so you'll be sitting doing something, and the blinds will go up or down. You didn't do it; they did it.
But I mean, you learn. I've learned skills. I mean, I can use all kinds of appliances, like all kinds of, garden things that I never thought I would do. And every time something happens, I'm like, okay, what am I going to learn now? And YouTube is your friend, but double check it. Don't just do the first. Watch 3 different versions of whatever you need to fix, and get the homeowner's approval first before you do anything. So it's
absolutely,
it is. We've learned. I mean, you learn about an area a different way, but you learn about plants, like different things, different gardens, and I mean, we were from the desert Southwest, and what's going on in the Pacific Northwest compared to theirs, 2 different things, but we're learning. So you have to keep, you know stuff. We've got, we know animals, we know all these things, but you're never going to tire of learning.
You never stop learning.
Amazing.
No, you don't.
No.
I mean, we did a house in LA, and they had $200,000 worth of bonsai trees in the backyard.
Oh my God!
And John, my husband, he was, when we got there, we spent 2 nights with the owners before they left, and he was shown everything, and he was shown the intricate way that you actually water bonsai trees. It's not like plants. And so $200,000 worth of bonsai trees, but being the other wonderful thing about that was, we weren't far from the Hollywood Bowl, and our wedding anniversary, we were there in the August, and so we were able to pack a picnic basket up and go to the Hollywood Bowl and celebrate our wedding anniversary there, and then come home to a lovely home and 2 lovely dogs. I mean, it's just
awesome.
Your life is actually just how you want it to be. It's not ruled by 8 o'clock knocks on the door with housekeeping saying, "Are you in or out?" It's not, dinner is served between, or breakfast is served between 8 and 11, and if you don't get down there, you're not going to. No, you can actually put all that to one side. That's okay for people that want that, but actually this is a way of living like a local and living in the way that you actually want to. But having that pet companionship there is no other. There's nothing else to describe it. There's no way to describe it.
Well, a lot of what we've noticed is that the pet parents are also sitters. So we've got a lot of repeats that we do, a lot of sits, and we wish we could be there for everybody's dates, and we have maybe 3 weeks left for this year that are open. I mean, it's crazy, and you want to be everywhere for everyone, but a lot of them are also doing the same thing. And we booked to sit in Kansas City that we're going to do because we're now doing this whole Jefferson Highway Trail. So that's a whole other new project we're going to be doing as part of our tour that goes from Winnipeg, Canada to New Orleans. And it's one of the oldest vacation routes in our country, even before Route 66, which is pretty cool. And it's being revived. And so we're like, oh, cool. We end up in Kansas City, and we had a Zoom chat with a pet parent, and he's super cool. And he just retired. And he goes, now I'm in my, retirement part. It's giving back. And he goes, I've used Trusted House Sitters. He goes, this is the best thing on the planet. I'll never do regular pet sitting again. Number one, it's expensive, and someone's not there full time. Mm-hmm. He just said he's had the best experience. He goes, this is like, it's like a godsend. But now that he's retired, he said it was so funny. He said because of where his location is, somebody else with pets and Trusted House Sitters messaged him and said, hey, I know you're in the area and you're obviously a pet parent. We're looking for a pet sitter. Would you think of pet sitting? So now he's become a pet sitter, and he's all excited. And I'm like, I told him, your life is going to change. It is going to be a whole new thing for you, and you're going to love it. And he's all excited because he's like, I'm giving back. I get to do something as part of my retirement that I'm doing. And he was thrilled that someone contacted him. So I was going to ask you, how many people do you think I know your membership is growing because, you go on there, I see. So, there's just so many openings for sitters and for homeowners. I'm like, this is amazing. But how many are doing that dual membership? And I do want to, before you go, because I know you have to go into how people sign up and do this, because people keep thinking we're doing this as part of our business. And I'm like, no, we're not getting paid. We're just doing something. But how many are doing that dual membership where they can pet sit and also have people in their homes?
There's more and more. I mean, the percentage-wise, I'm not sure off the top of my head, but there's more and more. And the reason that happens is because they see exactly what you've just described. They see people coming in and having amazing experiences. But the one thing I want to bring this back to, and you've alluded on it with this last, piece of the conversation, is our community. Our community is so strong, and we are growing faster now than we ever have, ever since we started. We now have a membership, a global membership of 84,000, and that dropped down over the pandemic to 50,000. We've now come up in 18 months to 84,000. We've come back to how we were, larger than pre-pandemic, but it's that community. We have many rescue pets within our community, and one of the things that we do. I'm sorry, I've got to.
There is a lot of rescue pets. I just want to say that I think is about, wouldn't you say 80 to 90% of the pets we take care of are rescues? From
pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much. I mean,
and
then the thank you is every time, like this particular dog here, she comes and she rests her head on my knee and she just looks at me and wags her tail. That's a thank you. And for me, that's golden. It's golden because the one thing, I love travel, but I really did miss having pets and plants. And now we have it all.
Yeah. Angela, are you there?
Yeah, I am. I've got a dry throat, but what I wanted to say is the community and the rescue pets and Trusted House Sitters as a community, we give back to shelters and to rescue pets. And I just want to say that if you are in the San Diego area on April the 16th, we have a fundraising live event at Little Italy in San Diego where we've got an Easter party extravaganza, if I can get that said right in there. And what we're doing is we're doing a fundraiser for the Animal Pad, which is a volunteer-run shelter in San Diego who actually do amazing work, and they care for and take in the animals that nobody else wants. I mean, if it's, and they are fully volunteer sort of run. They have no paid members at all, and they rely on, fundraising and volunteers and fosterers. And so we've got that live event from 10 until 2 on April the 16th. And if there's any Trusted House Sitters members listening to this and in the San Diego area and would love to come along and volunteer, we always need help. We always need help on these. We do get lots of volunteers, but it's also fun. I mean, it's a great, great fun few hours to actually help give back. But that's what we want to do. We want to give back and give back to those people who have those animal lovers that have animals at the very center of everything they do, because it's so important to us.
I love that. And everyone, if you go to TrustedHousesitters.com, that's the website, you'll see the membership and everything. And also, if you follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can also follow Angela at Trusted Angela. It is Trusted Angela, right? I just know you always. It's so automatic. Yeah. And then, if you follow them, you'll be able to keep up with these special events, because you've been doing a lot of that, and you've done a lot with Helen Woodward. And before we started our magazine, we did coloring books, and we raised funds. I mean, we're talking over 25, 26 years ago. We produced coloring books on the Encinitas and San Diego region, even where you are right now. And we sold the coloring books for Helen Woodward. And Nancy even did paintings that she, remember Sammy, the little spaniel that got bitten by a rattlesnake? And then he got it again. We raffled off the paintings and raised funds for them. So I think it's a very interesting connection, how full circle everything goes.
It is. It's amazing.
I know. Yeah, the Helen Woodward are an amazing.
You need some champagne, Angela.
Yeah,
Come on,
Angela.
give her the Magnum. She needs the bottle.
I think I do. I think I do. No, Helen Woodward are an amazing organization, and I think the one thing that I admire about them so much is they give back to other shelters and communities, and their education and what they do is they really they are a model for helping and giving back, and absolutely agree with you.
Okay, before you go, we have to get a champagne toast, but the membership thing, I want to get into that because people say, well, how much do you charge? And Nancy and I'm like, no, it's free. You just do a membership on Trusted House Sitters, and there's different levels. Some, have insurance and, flight things and things like, all kinds of cool stuff, but it's very, very cost effective. And what I love about it is that there's a vet line, which we've actually never had to use because we've been so connected with the pet parents of if something's happened or, but I really like to have that because you never know if you're, if someone's off grid somewhere and you never know what to use that so that you can get online or on the phone with a vet. I think that's special, but can you let people know that this is not something like pet sitters are not being paid and we're not paying the homeowners?
No, really... exactly. Exactly. We do this out of love for animals. And that's the ethos behind Trusted House Sitters. And that has been in place since the very beginning. And it was building that community of animal lovers who will actually do this because they care so much for animals, but also there's an experience that goes along with it. It is a win-win-win, and the third win is the animals. And so the membership, we have a 3-tier membership. You can choose whichever level that you want. It starts at $129, and that is for a full year, and that is unlimited use for sitters and unlimited use for pet parents. And as you said, Lisa, the vet line. The vet line is included with a pet parents membership. It's not just for emergencies. You can actually use it at any time during the year. If you want some advice about your animal, for your pet, for diet or anything like that, you can use it. It's not just for emergency use. So that's a really good thing to have.
Huge.
It also it's cost effective as well. But the membership, you go onto the site, there's the 3 memberships, everything that's included with those memberships, and you can choose whichever suits you. There is, as you say, insurance included with the pet parents and the sitters. But if you want any advice or information, we do have a membership services team, and everybody will be pleased to know that knows about Trusted House Sitters. We used to have 24/7, and during the pandemic, that was affected, and we had to pull back like every company in the world. And now we're getting back up there, and soon in this month, we will be able to reintroduce and roll out 24/7 membership services care. So no matter where you are in the world, if you need help, there are phones, live chat, and email, and we will have those agents online. And so you can get advice for anything and how to join if you're not quite sure. Because you know what? We're a digital company, but there are still those people out there who are not familiar with the internet. They don't use it easily. They still find it challenging. And that's got nothing to do with age, demographic, or anything. It's just that if I'm only using this to get an email once a week, and then suddenly I'm trying to do business on there, you need that support. And that's what our membership services team do. They will support you. They will help you. And then, of course, we have the forum. The forum has been going now for almost a year. That is another place to get information, get support, come and be part of that community, have those conversations. I'm on there all the time. I'm on social all the time. Anybody can contact me and our other sort of forum coordinators and community managers. We're there to support our members. You don't sign up with Trusted House Sitters and get left. You don't sign up, pay your membership, and hey ho, I'm on my own. It's
there's a lot of help.
Yeah,
I got help the other day because my computer was doing weird stuff and I couldn't get online. And I could get on my phone and tech support helped me, and I'm there. I'm there. I panic. I'm like, I can't be disconnected from my trusted house sitters. That can't happen. No. I panic. I'm like, no. And they helped me through it. And it had to do, it has to do with Google, and I don't want to start on that. But anyway, but before you go, Angela, it's been a pleasure again. What is your champagne toast?
My champagne toast is to our community. I mean, that I raise a glass to them today and every day, but my champagne toast is to our community. And I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for being there. Thank you for being part of it. Thank you for keeping these precious souls that are so important to our lives, that have no voice and no choice. And we keep them safe, we keep them happy, and we keep them so that, you know what, when their pet parents have their vacation, their pets have their vacation too. They have a vacation at home with those that care about them and have fun and do everything else. So my glass is raised to all those amazing, animal-loving, like-minded human beings that belong to Trusted House Sitters. And for those that actually want to join us, you know what, come and join us. You will not regret that you know, stepping over into what we have. It's really very special.
Dude, it is. I'm telling you. It is. It's very
awesome.
Cool. Everyone, TrustedHousesitters.com, and we do raise a glass to everybody that's part of the community too, because even on just social media and the forum, which, you know, is just, you learn so much, and you learn about pets. You learn about all kinds of things, you know, so it's really very cool. So TrustedHousesitters.com is the website. Thank you all for joining us here on Big Blend Radio. Keep up with us. We air daily. You can keep up with our shows at BigBlendRadio.com, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those places. And we're going to, and keep up with us on NationalParkTraveling.com. We have a pet sitting map that we're constantly adding to, and you can see all our little pet friends across the country. So check that out. Just type in pet sitting across America on NationalParkTraveling.com. But thank you so much, Angela. Thank you all for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Take care.
Thank you. Safe and happy travels.
You too.
Thank you.